Hi everybody, it's Lasha from High Voltage. If you're watching this from the Lasha Rajanko Live, which I am uploading a video on High Voltage, and I'm doing a live on Lasha Rajanko. So once and for all, if anybody ever watches Lasha Rajanko, I implore you to please subscribe to High Voltage. Again, why? Because Doofa over here started 3 channels, and between the 3 channels, there's 83 souls here, 601 souls on High Voltage, 305 on L&L Soul Sisters, and you can't amalgamate. It's not congruent to amalgamate those channels on YouTube, which is a crying shame. But that's not why I'm here today. Okay, so it's Thanksgiving in Canada, so happy Thanksgiving anybody who's Canadian. I want to talk about Meghan Markle and the Markles. However, I think I'm going to leave that till the end because I really want to keep on top of Andrew Gould's The Psychology of Secrets. So anybody who doesn't know who Andrew Gould is, that's a crying shame. But to find out who he is and his work and so on, sorry, you know what? I worked all week in the kitchen and I put up videos of the kitchen. I take 2 showers a day, 1 in the morning and 1 at night, and I cannot get grease underneath my fingernails. I swear to you. It's terrible. I'm a middle class worker. What can I say? Anyways, all right. So, if you want to find out who Andrew Gould is and all of the work that he's done, go to Heretics or Andrew Gould, Psychology of Secrets, and you can find out about him, why he wrote this book, Psychology of Secrets, and the playlist is on High Voltage under Andrew Gould, The Psychology of Secrets. So where we left off yesterday, or the day before yesterday, was how he had interviewed many former Scientologists and other cult defectors who speak of having been indoctrinated in their sect with the fear of knowledge. It is the terror of openings Pandora's box or eating from the forbidden tree of knowledge. Scientologists are told they will develop pneumonia or die if they find out, or someone tells them about the cult's creation story before they are ready. Now, prior to that piece about the indoctrination and the foundation of Scientology, you have to go back to the reading prior. So all of the readings are in order of, I believe, newest to latest. So you'd want to watch the video before this one, is what I'm trying to say. All right, these are bifocals. Just let me try to get them right because sometimes I get a bit dizzy. You might think that a cult would want its members to know as much as possible about its rules while prohibiting only outside information. But Scientology's tactic is typical in authoritarian sects. In fact, during my research, I found that cults and secrecy were so intertwined that I eventually had to decline a whole chapter to them. It's worth noting that cults are not all that different from organized religions. Now, so that's why he brought up different secular religions, people that are fanatical in religions, including his own story that he includes. His own story that he includes. He included his own story of his experience being indoctrinated into a religion, and his wife now, and they stepped away from it. So at any rate, I think that's what, I don't know, that's what tweaked his journey, his curiosity into the road to hell, like Nexium and God's Gate, Scientology. I worked at Jenny Craig. That was a cult. I'll talk about it after the book is over, though. Okay, so it's worth noting that cults are not all that different from organized religions, at least with regards to what they demand of their followers. Cults are more likely than religions to have a sole, charismatic leader, as well as expensive tiers promising secret knowledge, but there is overlap. Julia Hart, that's with 2 A's, writes at length about how certain ultra-Orthodox communities, which you might classify as extreme religion rather than cult, prevent women from studying the Torah. Is the Torah different than the Quran? I'm asking, because I was going to read the Quran. I don't know. Anyway, she was ignorant of the context behind the strict rules to which she was forced to adhere, and for thousands of years, knowledge of the Bible was restricted to an elite few. Literacy, and therefore class and education, dictated where that knowledge fell, allowing those in the know to control the masses. Andrew Gold should have a sit down with Margaret Atwood. I'd love to see those two interviewed, because Margaret Atwood wrote that dystopian Handmaid's Tale in 1987. They started filming it around 2016. There's 5 seasons, and I don't know what happened to the 6th. Anyways, much of the Aramaic religions' teachings are freely available to most Westerners today, but most extreme sects continue to keep secret their doctrines from their own worshippers. This means that members are not only deprived of knowledge from the outside world, the worldly realm as Jehovah's Witnesses call it, or the Wong world according to Scientology terminology, but also from their own community. They're kept in darkness, programmed to bend and break to the will of the keepers of the knowledge. Okay, I'm stopping right there on this today. You know why? Because you know why? Oh, wait. Okay, no, I'm not. I'm going to read one more page because I wanted to tell you my story about... Okay, just let me tell you this really quick. I was born Orthodox. I was baptized Greek Orthodox. I went to a Catholic school. I went to an Anglican church. And I remember when I went to Catholic school, we would have Mass, and there was a priest, and he was very, very overweight. He was bad. I'm sorry, but, you know, no, I'm not sorry. Look, I was anorexic, and I had been overweight, and I was so fat. It was awful, you know? And then, but that was in my early 20s, and then whatever. So this priest was talking about the 7 deadly sins, and one of them being greed, and how being overweight was a sin. And keep in mind, I was 6 years old, and I said to my classmates, who were all very Catholic, you know, like their families went to church every Sunday. My mom taught Sunday school at the Anglican church, and I was in my mother's class. And oh, was I a little brat. I used to give my mother such a hard time. But at any rate, I remember saying to like Krista and Natalie and Shannon, that priest, and I didn't know the word was hypocrite at 6 years old, but I remember thinking, that's not right. He's telling us something, but he's not even following it. And the other kids had no idea what I was talking about. Stupid. You know, even I was smart enough to figure that out. You know, and people think I'm stupid. I think that's funny. Just some people. Anyways, okay, let me finish a couple more pages. Okay, so whether these be chief rabbis, the watchtower, okay, the chief rabbis, they're from Haredi Judaism. The watchtower is Jehovah's Witnesses or Tom Cruise's Scientology. But I will say, I do not like Tom Cruise as a person, but the only time I can separate Tom Cruise from Scientology is when I watch A Few Good Men. I think that's the best work he's ever done. And the one he was in about the attorney. Oh, I can't remember. And I like Jerry Maguire. I did. Anyways, Cruise is not the leader of the cult Scientology, but ranks extremely high, and is best friends with leader David Miscavige. His image is essential to the survival and popularity of the cult. See, that's why Jenny Craig had Joe Behar, Monica Lewinsky, Christy Allen when she was with us, as spokespeople. You know, they want somebody famous to breed along their cult. So at any rate, the award was created especially for him so that no member can ever reach his heights. Anybody who's just, I've seen a few people, Emma, I've got to talk about the menopause. I'm reading Andrew Gould's Psychology of Secrets. The award was created especially for him so that no member can ever reach his heights. When asked about the belief system of Scientology, Cruise never gives answers, but instead speaks in riddles and insists we go find out. This is the line often wheeled out by other public Scientologists, such as the late actress Kirstie Alley. Yes, she was a Scientologist and a spokesperson for Jenny Craig. Besides contributing to the organization's mystique and power, they do this for two reasons. First, members are expected to pay thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to access each new level of Scientology information. That is ridiculous. What person would fall for this? I know all about indoctrination, trust me. And I know what kind of person follows this. Good people, lost people, or you grow up with it, or there's so many reasons. Did anybody see The Vow? Okay. Besides contributing to, okay. These levels are called operating thetans, OTs. With OT 8, the highest, theoretically, there are 15 levels, but nothing higher than 8 has ever been released. Very few members are offered or can afford the opportunity to reach OT 8. Kirstie Alley is one of the select few who made it. Tom Cruise's status is unknown to us wogs. But those who are close to him and have, since I was going to say defecated, defected, reveal he was already an OT in the 2000s. Oh my gosh. Second, cults rely on coercive psychology such as the boiling frog concept and the sunk cost fallacy. The former means members are very slowly boiled with information that at first seems sensible and positive, and then they sort of normalize it and they whack it out. Kind of like Lord Zoo from the start. They jump out like a frog from hot water. If done slowly enough, the cult member is indoctrinated. The frog is dead before he or she realizes what is happening. As for sunk costs, the cult relies on members being in so deep by the time they hear about the creation story that they feel they have no choice but to keep going. They can't face up to the fact that they have bankrupted their families and shunned their friends for nonsense created by science fiction writer R. Ron Hubbard. Now, I am leaving it there because if anybody's watched The Vow, I know so much about this already. That's why I read a little bit every day, because it's exciting, but when you know so much about it, it can be a little bit dry after a while and something you don't want to talk about all the time. But this book is really good. I do want to read Ask Not, and I do have a huge opinion on Meghan Markle. But to be honest, today my throat's a little sore, so my voice needs a break. So I'll do this in 3 sections today. Next section, I'll read Ask Not. My last section is Meghan Markle, and I'm taking notes. It will not disappoint. Thank you so much for joining on Lasha Rajenko. And for those of you on Lasha Rajenko, hop on over to High Voltage. Thanks for your time. And for all of you, got to get these views up. You know, it's time. Lasha, I'm getting with the program. I think people should start reading a little bit or start listening to Andrew Gold. For those of you that didn't have a lot of confidence in my reading and so forth, I think you'll start to gain it once you listen to this book. And it's all about what I'm passionate about. So it won't disappoint. And you can find me on Instagram and Facebook and yada bada ba. But all the material that I put out on those platforms are all on YouTube anyway. So anyways, happy Thanksgiving. And you all know who I love. And I love all of you. Okay, that's a wrap. Trevor, where have you been? Where have you been, my friend? All right, I will talk to all of you soon. Or see all of you soon. Yeah, I hope one day we can always get together. Okay, bye.